morning.
Hello, YouTubers.
The welding process has begun.
Yeah, it started. Yeah, it started. Not too bad.
Okay, that's good.
You plan on coming any closer, or
I am, but you're gonna have to relax.
have I got leprosy, or?
No, I got a whole thing here I'm working on. You don't even see behind the scenes. I was zoomed right up on you.
Oh.
So then I was waiting to back her up.
Somebody made a comment last night
Did they?
on the thing saying you're going to ruin your lens by being too close, and somebody said, well, did you ever hear of a thing called Zoom?
That's right.
So somebody came to your defense.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you.
Speaking of comments.
Yes.
Where's that made furnace?
Here we go.
Speaking of comments, we've had lots of comments in the last video last night, and we have to address some of them. Number one, the first bit of advice that I would like to give all our viewers before they make a comment is read the comments.
See if it's been asked and answered.
Yes, because as much information as people might get out of our videos, and we hope that they do, I'm telling you, a lot of times there's more information that comes out in the comment section that's actually in the video.
True.
Because sometimes somebody will ask me a question and I will say, you know what, even with all the questions and emails that we get, I still try to take the time, and that could be 3 o'clock in the morning, to answer those good questions, what I think are worthy of, they're all worthy of a comment. It's just that I have to try to prioritize my answering, or I would never sleep. But the one question that everybody, well, not everybody, but I'm going to say a third of all the comments was, why don't you put a back gauge on your press? In other words, that way I don't have to be looking at the lines. All right. So let's go over and visit that and see if you can understand why I didn't do that. So you can leave that around. Come on over. So here is the press. This is one we made up, I'm going to say 6-7 years ago at least, right? This is quite heavy. We used to take the two of us to lift this down. And it seemed like every year was getting heavier for some reason.
I know, that's right.
So we decided we were going to put in a winch. And even then, like, you have to be aware of what's going on here. Because things can happen when you lift this up, like a cable can snap. Or it can get tangled up somewhere. So I'm just going to show you what's involved here. So you got to pull it out, and you pull it straight down. See how close I'm coming to the thing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn it around so I'll show you something. Let's talk about back gauges. Now, it's in place. This is backwards. The back gauge would be here, okay? Now, if you're going to put a back gauge in, well, I mean, you can put a couple of bolts here, or a piece of threaded rod here. That's how I would do it. Or I could just drill it out, and I could put some like 1/2-inch round stock to come out with a set screw on it, and then I could make up a I'm going to say about a 3-inch by 1/4 flat bar to go across here, and I could have it adjustable. And in a perfect world, that would work great. The problem is with it is for, even though this seems like a lot of bends and stuff to the people at home, it's really not. So I kind of like the idea of the slit with the plasma, and I put it in there and I line it up. What you seen yesterday, and like I said during the video, was the fact that when the camera is on, things never go as smoothly as when the camera is off, because your subconscious is saying, there's 500,000 people watching you right now, you know,
It's true.
or 500,000 eyes now, unless somebody got an eye missing, well, that's one less eye, right?
Right.
You know, somebody's going to correct me, because somebody's going to say, well, you know, somebody could have an eye gone. Well, anyway.
Gotta be aware of everything. Gotta think of it
Right,
all.
you got to think of everything, right? You know, and then there could be a fella out there with near a head on, right?
Could
Just
be.
sitting in front of the TV.
Could be.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. Okay,
See, now you're
where
making
were
me
we?
laugh. I'm trying to have a serious video, you're making me laugh.
Well, you're not having a serious video.
Oh, and it could be other people watching our videos. They probably got near arm on. They can't change channel.
Okay, we better.
Look, there's all kinds of scenarios here.
I know. There is.
You okay? Are you
I'm
crying?
okay. No.
Are you that sad to be here?
You're just gonna have to move along here now.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't put the back gauge on, is because I kind of like the way I'm doing it. I'm kind of set in my old ways. Now, if I was doing umpteen thousand of them, yes, I would. The other reason why is, look where this is to. Now, I know I could move the ladder, but the ladder kind of likes where it's to there now. And ladders, they don't like to be relocated,
No.
because they got a tendency to want to fall over. It's like to give up on life.
Yeah, that's right.
You just fall over, and
That's true.
right, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Hold that thought.
okay, where was I? Ladders don't like to be relocated. They fall over.
That's
Right?
right. Exactly.
Now, the other problem that I got with it, if I put a back gauge on it, then I have it protruding out more. Okay? So then, when I go to turn it around or take it down, hang on now, use the right one here. Hang on, do it this way. I have to pull it out further to clear. And I don't want to do that. In other words, I feel safer doing it the way I'm doing it.
Right.
And I would rather keep the safety aspect there and do it manually. Line up the slots, do the press, bring it over, just weld over the slots and go to work. Okay? Now, let's get this back in place before we go too much further. You can see it's a tight fit, right? And it's quite slippery. Okay, so that takes care of that part of it. Now the other part of it was, somebody had said, when you make your bends, you know, you can measure, or you can get a digital angle meter, right? Like this one.
Get that other one.
Let's see. See that? So we'll go over here, and we're going to put that there. You might get on this side here, look. And we're going to zero it out. See it zeroed out? Okay, now we're just going to go through something here now. I'm going to show you something, what it takes. Okay. So we know, or I already measured, the angle of those little footsies. They're 34 degrees. Okay? So we're going to put this in here. You might want to get in close now. And we're going to put that on there like that. Here, let's put it back here. Make it interesting. Now, why isn't that registering? Hang on. What is going on here? I don't have it on hold or anything.
The bottom number 0 should change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I had that working this morning. Let me shut it off and turn it on again just to see. Maybe when I went to reset it or something. Hold is not on hold. Well, this is one of the reasons why I don't use it.
Yeah. No kidding.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that was working this morning. I don't know why.
No, it's not.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
But anyway, here, just pause that and we'll see if I can get this. Well, I did use it this morning. And it was working.
It's not working now.
And we just put fresh batteries in it.
That's right.
So that's why I don't use this friggin' stuff. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's one reason. But the other reason is, and the other reason is, even if it was reliable, because this thing probably hasn't been used, I'm going to say 3 times in 6 years. It was working this morning. But anyway, the reason why I don't like using this is because where it's digital, it comes up in point increments, and you got to be cycling the pump and cycling the pump and cycling the pump. Okay? What you didn't see during the video yesterday when I did the demo was I kind of got a little cheat on the go here.
That's right, you do.
That people don't realize. Okay? And my little cheat is over here. Come over and we'll show them our little cheat, Kathy. If you look down here on these rims, you see that notch? Mm-hmm. That's the warning notch. You're getting close. The next notch is it. There's the next notch. Mm-hmm. Same thing here, look.
Yes.
Now, even that itself is not foolproof, because what a lot of people don't take into consideration is that this metal can act like a spring. Depending on its temperament, I can put that there and I can come down into that notch, and sometimes, for whatever reason, it's dead on, and other times it's not even close. So we'll just see. This is only thin angle on it, or thin flat bar, so we'll just see something. So that's the bend. Let's get Old Faithful down here. See the spring?
Yes.
That's the results, okay? So no matter what you use for a gauge, even if that gave me the right degrees in bend, once I let it go, I'm still going to check it with that, and I bet you it would be the same way. Which means that I will still have to put it back in. And recheck it.
And now we have it. Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, you know, people can say, well, you can get it just right, put it back in and make another notch. But believe it or not, every piece of that metal is different. It all reacts differently. So that's why it's easier for me to take it out, put my trusty gauge on it, and I know when it leaves this station here and goes over to that one, it's right. And that's why I use that. Okay? Sometimes old school is still better, as you know, than modern day stuff. Okay? My opinion. It's what works for you. If these things work for you, that's fine. But by the time you get this out of your toolbox and do what I did this morning and check it all out and make sure it's working, and by the time you turn on the camera, it dies, you should take that and throw it out in the woods where all the rest of my tools are that don't want to be here.
That's right.
Okay? Now when that camera goes off, this will probably work perfect.
Yes.
It's probably just camera shy. Right? Now, the other question was, why don't we programmed the CNC table to cut that in half. Saved me a lot of trouble, put the bevel. The trouble we're having with this particular setup here is there's so many piercings as it is. And the piercings are really, really hard on the consumables.
That's right.
This is the result of yesterday, right here. Now, some of this could be operated the way the operator set it up, which is me. I think that my pierce was too low to the work, and it came back and flashed back and made everything contaminated. So, not going to blame the table, but piercings are hard on consumables.
So doing that adds a lot more.
It adds a lot more work to it because you got to remember there's 18 of those pads on a sheet,
And 2 of those.
and there's 2 of those for each of those. So that's 36.
Yeah.
That's 36 more cuts that needs to make, right? And plus, it's getting close when you're making the cut. Right here, it's getting close to this.
That's right.
And I don't want to jeopardize this pad. Okay? So that's why I like the iron worker so much, is because I can go over after, I can cut it off, and I can cut my bevel, and it's clean. There's no cleanup after. And that's another reason why I don't ask the CNC table to cut this, is because I have to clean the dross off of that after. In some cases there's not much there. But I would rather hold on to a long piece like that while I'm grinding than hold on to a short piece like that. Because now you're getting to the danger zone.
That's right. It looked like you were having more work, but initially you don't.
Well, you know, what do you call more work? Do you try to lessen the work and increase the safety aspect of, or decrease the safety aspect? Yes, I could ask the CNC table to do all of this, but am I jeopardizing the pad itself?
Yeah, possibly.
It could happen. It could happen that it would bite into the
It
pad.
had to. It's close.
Yes, it's really
It's not
close. Like
separated.
this here yesterday was about 1/8.
Yeah, it would have to.
So I didn't do that. Now, is it worth asking it to do it just to save you a bit of time on the iron worker when you can end up with a nice finish like that? You're not jeopardizing the pad, and plus, when I go to clean up, when it comes off the table, I have a full unit that I can hold on to and then go to the iron worker. It's a lot safer for me to leave it like this than to leave it like that. So, right here, we don't put the backstop on it because we already made allowances. We don't need the backstop. Yes, it's true. Sometimes I have to maneuver. It's going to take me a few extra seconds. But I don't have to worry about the backstop when I'm taking this thing down. Don't have to worry about getting caught up and possibly dropping on our feet or hitting us in the legs. You know? Or asking it to do it, pulling it out and possibly upsetting the whole outfit. That's why. Why do I use the gauge? Because no matter what I put there to measure the angle, all of those pads, for whatever difference, they all deflect differently. Some are dead on the first time. You can even feel it in the machine. You know it's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Feel and hear it.
But when you let go, sometimes you'll see it spring back, and I'll say, "Boy, it's funny. Some of them don't, and some of them do."
Yeah.
You know, metallurgists out there will say, "Well, this is read molecules, is this." I don't care about that. All I know, it's like I was taking an electrical diagnosis course one time with GM, and they were talking about protons and neutrons and all of this stuff. And Larry Dalton was the instructor. He looked at me and he said, he's right from GM. He said, "Paul," he said, "you don't look like you're too interested." I said, "Larry," he said, "if I can't take a neutron or a proton and throw it on the workbench and pick it apart and fix it and put it back in the car, I don't want to know about it." So he said, "Well, chapter 3.
Moving along.
So again, this is why I use this gauge. And they're all equal to that. Now, when you get yours, you're going to say, "Well, that one looks like," well, yeah, they're not going to be dead on perfect because it's not necessary for it to be dead on perfect. If you don't tell the tractor, nobody will know. Right?
Right.
The other question, a lot of questions came in last night. The other question is, people ask if we gave up automotive. No, we haven't given up automotive. We just don't show it. because there's umpteen thousand channels out there that shows automotive repairs.
Motos, that's right.
And our goal is to keep our regular customers. We're not looking for new customers, but although we do take a scattered one, depends on how they approach us. If they come in with a bad attitude, we don't take them. If they come in with a real good attitude, we do. It's just as well to tell the truth,
Oh, yes.
isn't it? And we've had customers come in here. Well, we've had potential customers come here that were the greatest because they watch us on YouTube.
That's true.
A fella came in the other day. He said, "Well, you know, it's the first time I ever met you," but he said, "You feel like family to me."
That's right.
He said, "I just know you, you know." So, and that's nice. And he's a customer.
Exactly.
So that pretty well addresses
Yeah.
that. And I hope this cleared it up, you know. It's not beneath me to use jigs or back gauges. I use them all the time. I'm using a jig over here now. Just come over and you'll see. That's a jig, right? I'll take it and I'll continue on welding, right? So it's, you know, it's just the way that we do things.
Everybody has their way.
Everybody has their way. I mean, back gauges, here's a perfect example of a great back gauge. And I use it, Kathy can tell you, I use it most all the time. And that's right here behind this ironwork.
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this thing is slicker than grease weasel poop,
Yep.
isn't it?
It is. Yes.
You know, you take it and you put it down like that. And we can cut up flat bar in a matter of 20 feet of flat bar, we can cut it up in minutes.
Yep.
Now people will tell you, well, you can cut your flat bar from your sheet of metal. And I kind of take a little bit of disagreement to that. It's cheaper to cut it there, but when you're producing something for a customer, I much prefer to buy the flat bar. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Look at the edges. The edges are perfect.
Yeah.
When you're cutting something with a CNC or a handheld plasma, you know, it's never as smooth as that. So, I mean, if I got to cut off a piece of a piece of flat bar with the plasma, and then have to go over, you know, just touch it with the grinder to take the sharp edges off it, it's just as well for me to buy the flat bar. Because there's no hazard to people here holding this.
No.
You know, so that's one of the reasons. Another reason why I don't do things the way most people do. I guess I'm just weird. I don't know. Yeah, I do know. I am weird.
Well, you heard it here.
Don't mind the guards off of these things, folks. I took the guards off because it's mine and I own it.
And you can do it.
And I can do it. Yeah. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Do not remove your guards. Okay?
Okay.
It's official. Do not remove guards off anything, especially grinders. Okay? So, we'll continue on. I'm going to continue on my welds. And maybe before the day's out, we'll add to this video. I don't know. We'll see. And either way, we'll be back to either say, there's more to this, or goodbye.
That's right.
Right?
We don't know yet either.
And you know, and that'll give you some time to calm down, because a few minutes ago you were literally crying, leaning up against the ironworker. So
I don't know about that, but I'm just hoping that all those stomach growls aren't coming across on the video.
oh my gosh, you're hungry, she don't eat anything.
My gosh, you should hear it. Like I said, if you hear noises on here, this is what it
It
is.
sounds like a Cummins diesel.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad. Go get something to eat.
I'm a grazer.
Yeah,
I just graze. I
You're
just
great. I'm gonna have to get a bale of hay for you.
I just eat just small quantities all day long.
Well, what I should do is I should throw a bale of hay out there by the door, and that way, when you wants to go grazing, there's only to put you out there and tie onto the gas pumps, so you can't wander off, and then you won't be hungry.
A banana now will keep me alive till lunchtime.
Take me to your father.
Okay.
No, I am your father.
Oh my.
Anyway, folks, I gotta go work.
You're weird.
Oh, I'm beyond weird. I'm beyond that. I shouldn't even be allowed out in public.
What are you at?
Well, don't get no peace around here. I just hear scraping and mind my own business, and you're out with that again. Have a look.
Have a look.
I always like to show them the welds, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow, that was nice.
Cool, huh?
Very cool.
Then, if anybody's having trouble with their splatters, because MIG
Oh, yeah.
puts off splatters, little bumpy things, right? You can get some splatter spray.
Really?
Yeah, and you can spray it inside in your snozzle.
Oh.
Now, I don't mean you beak. Don't go like,
Oh.
no,
I'll go snorting the stuff.
it's for snozzles, right? And it keeps the snozzle clean. So you just basically,
Oh,
right?
good.
And you shake, and rattle and roll, right? Yeah,
And that'll
so
keep the splatter down.
splatter did.
You splattered that.
Yeah, so, oh yes, here's something I can ask viewers.
Yeah?
I'm looking for a motorized slip roller,
That's right.
preferably in Canada. Canada would be better, right?
That's right.
But now over at the US, the only thing right now is monopoly money is worth more in the US than Canadian dollars.
That's true.
So that's the problem. So if anybody in Canada knows for even a good used one, but it got to be motorized, got to be single phase, 110, 220 volt, either like that. Let us know, will you?
Yeah.
Because we'd be very interested in getting it. We have a few mods coming up that is going to require a slip roller.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they call it a slip roller?
Because the metal slips through it.
No. It's because it's got rollers going across, and once you roll that circle, you have no way of getting out. So over on this end of her, there's a lever you pull or a collar you pull, and that top roller can move out, and you can slip that tube off. Slip roller.
Who knew? See, I learned something today.
I gotta go to work. You're in with that.
I'm here.
Gee,
I'm
you know,
doing
I can
it.
hardly get over to the page because the camera's in the way.
Oh,
Here, look, and just show people at home what we do. Even when these are indexed out and the ears go on and they're welded on the hang on there, on the other side like that, right? We even weld them.
yeah.
So you just pause that for a second, or you can leave it on and move back, and I'll weld it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay?
Okay.
I think the nozzle stuff might have had an effect on it. I had to start and stop.
Could be.
But you know,
Yeah.
it goes to show it's not going to pull through.
No, that's right.
So, cool.
Good day's work, dear.
Never stopped.
Yeah.
I gotta stop.
Ongoing days, yeah, hasn't it?
I got 3 more sets to build, and then I gotta go working on vehicles again.
That's right.
It's not bad. These people are great. They're great customers. So
That's right.
you know, we'll always look after our customers.
We're only too happy to have them come in.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. And it'll give me a break from this stuff too, because no matter what, this gets monotonous too.
It does, yeah.
You know, but I don't rush at it.
No.
No. It turned out really good. They're nice, and I got 3 more sets to build tomorrow, and then we're going. That's right.
Painting.
We might have a slip roll, but we might.
Yes, because you asked earlier about that. So
Yes, that's
from
right.
viewers.
Yeah. So, electric one, electric.
Electric.
2 pedals. One rolls, one backs up.
Ooh.
Maybe. We don't know yet. Well, we're waiting for them. They're in Winnipeg, so they're waiting for them to call us back.
We're trying to negotiate a deal here. We're
Yes.
trying to sew it up.
Yeah. Sometimes sewing, I'm not that great at sewing.
No.
So, but sometimes it works out. Sometimes it don't. If it don't, we just move on. So,
Right?
you know, it is what it is. I know Jet is a company in the States that make, or that put out a lot of stuff. Man, they don't like Canadians. They don't like us. I think some Canadian must have peed in their cornflakes.
Maybe.
Hey? Anyway, folks, we're going to call this a video. We're done. It is 12 minutes to 6 o'clock.
I know.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Where does the time go?
I have no idea.
From 8 o'clock to 6. Wowzers. That's brutal.
Yep.
So anyway, you know the reasons why behind the things that we do and why we do them and why we don't do them, and
That's right.
you know. So that's what this was about. Hey, it's about something.
Right.
It's getting like the Seinfeld series, you know. It's all about nothing, right?
That's true. That was quite popular.
Yeah. I never did get that little angle thing to work after.
No.
It worked this morning when I took it out of the toolbox and I tried it. I said, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool." Bingo.
It's a one-shot deal.
So now you know why I don't use that stuff. Okay. Matter of fact, I even had trouble finding it. It was in the toolbox for the milling machine. That little gauge that I used, that little bar, that little flat bar I used, I have never had to put a battery in it. And I've dropped that 20,000 times on the floor and it never broke.
No.
Can't get much more reliable than that.
No, you can't.
Eh?
Nope.
So I don't mind removing it once in a while and just gauging it and putting it back in.
That's right.
It is what it is. So no back gauge required. Because they're still posting. If I were you, I'd put a back gauge on it.
Yeah.
Must be 40 people that have said that. But I know what it is. Everybody figures it's a great idea, and so it is. But it's just not.
And you don't know anyone else has mentioned it.
Yes, that's right. So read the other comments, folks. You learn a lot from other people. I know I have.
Me too.
We learn from each other. You know,
We do.
You know, it is what it is, right? And you're calmed down. You're over your little laughing spell. It's you know, like I can't make a serious video you around. You
No.
bring out the worst in me.
It's all my fault.
It is. I'm glad you realize that. Anyway, folks, we'll see you in the next video. You guys take care. God bless.